Here we are with another Good Critic, Bad Critic episode. This week we are reviewing Glory from 1989. This was directed by Edward Zwick. Some of his more notable films: Legends of the Fall, Courage Under Fire, The Siege, The Last Samurai, Blood Diamond. Yeah, so he's had some pretty good ones. He's a good director.
I did not know that he fucking did The Last Samurai. That's pretty epic.
Yeah,
I can see that from this film. Yeah.
Screenplay by Kevin Jarre, cinematography by Freddie Francis, edited by Steven Rosenblum, music by James Horner. James Horner is a good composer.
He is.
Oh, the music in this fucking film is, yeah, we'll get there.
Cast: Matthew Broderick in I feel like a rare leading role. Also, Craig, you might know this guy better than we do. How do you say his last name? Carrie
Elways.
Elways. Okay.
I was actually thinking this earlier. I've only ever heard it pronounced as Elways, as in Ways.
Okay.
So that's the only time I've heard it. It's not a common English surname that I've ever come across, but I've only ever heard it as that, Elways. So we'll go with that. And you can blame me.
Yeah, he was around a bit in the late 80s, early 90s, and then he kind of...
Who does he play in this film?
He plays Major... what is his last name?
The racist major, or no?
No. The good one.
The Robert Shaw.
Oh, he's great.
Friend.
Yeah, he's good. I loved him in this.
It was the guy off the first Saw film.
Oh, no way that's him.
Yeah.
Really?
The one who cuts his foot off. Yeah.
No fucking shot. That's crazy.
I think that's how most people would recognize him immediately.
That's actually insane.
All right.
But yeah.
More castmates here. We got Denzel Washington. Absolute brilliance. Morgan Freeman. Again. And then we got Andre Brower. A very underrated role, in my opinion. He plays Thomas. He
was great.
Or as Denzel calls him, Snowflake.
Yeah.
We got Jimmy Kennedy. I wrote down a couple. That's basically the main cast. I wrote down a couple more names just because you might have seen them in other things over the years. Well, first, I have to give a shout out because I hardly recognize him in anything, but John Finn as Sergeant Mulcahy, which was fucking awesome. That had to be a very fun role for him. Mark Margolis, he shows up randomly in movies over the years. He's in Scarface. He was in 1492, Conquest of Paradise. He was in what's that that baseball movie with Keanu Reeves in Chicago, Hardball. He shows up in that briefly. So he's been in a few things. J. O. Sanders is an American character actor. He was, Craig, you probably saw him recently when you watched True Detective. He was one of the Tuttle guys, the priest. Not the priest. He was like the really rich priest guy that was really creepy in like a couple scenes. But anyway,
it was a few months back I watched it, so...
Okay. So he was in the Angels in the Outfield. He's been all over the place. He was also in the movie we watched that Quentin hated, the Morgan Freeman one. Along Came a Spider.
Spider.
Yeah.
Ripe old.
Ripe. Bob Gunton.
He's in it. He turns up in everything.
He turns up in a lot of things, but most people would probably know him from Shawshank
Redemption. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Don't forget about apparently Mark Margulis. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but the guy from Breaking Bad, the Spanish guy in the wheelchair, is in this.
Oh yeah. I mentioned him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Scarface and a bunch of things over the years. Yeah, he shows up in a lot of things. This film was distributed by TriStar Pictures. The release date was December 15th, 1989. The runtime was 122 minutes. The budget was $18 million. Box office return, $27 million, so not really a hit.
Should have been.
I guess it made its money back, though. But I'll tell you one thing about this, though, in terms of the box office return. This film probably would have made like 10 to 20 times the amount of money
Easily.
if it had just come out a year later. And the reason I say that is in 1990, I think it was September, is when the Ken Burns American Civil War documentary dropped in the United States, and it became the most watched television program for like I think it's still like the most watched television program of all time. I think.
What is it
And
called?
it's a documentary. It's just called The Civil War, but it's by probably the most famous American documentarian, Kevin Burns. So, yeah, like people at home, like 30 million people were like watching every episode, and that sparked like this big like kind of like renaissance into looking back into the American Civil War.
Culture.
So if this film came out after this came out, people would have been lining up in droves to see it, and it probably would have made $200 or $300 million.
But instead, they released it.
Even
Christmas.
today, I feel like if this came out today, obviously, like, right? I don't know. I think this film just would have done better today.
Yeah, I think so too. But that thing, like, if you come out with the most successful American documentary of all time, and then you release this film like about the
Right
Civil
after.
War, and then you release this like 5 or 6 months after, forget it.
Oh,
It
it's
would have
gonna take the fuck
it
off.
would have. Oh my god. So this this film kind of missed its window a little bit. They should have just delayed it until after that came out, but you know, you can't predict the future, so it's one of those like anomalies.
Yeah, I was going to say, 'cause as far as I knew, because I've not heard of this. Obviously, it didn't come across here. To my knowledge, it was the ending of MASH as far as a TV series go, like a TV show goes. That was the most highly viewed thing, except that for the Super Bowl, which is obviously a sporting event. But that was my understanding of. But when you said that it's a documentary, and it was over. You know, it was multiple episodes.
Yeah, I don't know the exact statistics, but like when it came out, it was like the most watched thing for a very, very long time. It might even still be to this day. I don't know in terms of like
that's
one
good to
season
know.
in terms of one season of
A show,
a show,
let alone a documentary.
Yeah, but the reason I mentioned that just to point out that if this film had just come out a year later, the interest in it would have been massive because of that.
Well, if that was in September and they did it at the end of October, especially something like that, just like give that a little bit of breathing room and then drop it, then
So this film obviously takes place during the American Civil War, and it is specifically about the 54th Massachusetts Regiment, how it was formed, and what it did during the events of the American Civil War. It is based on a true story, and we follow mainly Robert Gould Shaw, who ends up being the colonel. He comes from a wealthy abolitionist family in Boston, and he is appointed the commanding officer of this 54th Massachusetts Regiment, which is one of the first black regiments in the Civil War. And we find it kind of compacts the black characters into Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Andre Brower, and Jimmy Kennedy's characters. Those are the main guys that we follow. And it's a good old-fashioned war film. It deals with a lot of heavy stuff. And I first watched this film, I think I was 12 or 13.
Oh my god!
And
So you watched it when it came out, pretty much.
No, I was not. I was 1 year old in 1989.
yeah, that bit of math.
I didn't know it came out in '89. It did not. I assumed it was. Yeah, my mistake. All right. You're not old. That's not where I was going with that.
Congratulations! I'm now the second youngest.
Right.
Oh my god.
Okay, who wants to start? Who wants to give a
Craig, you
their
go ahead.
opinion and review?
No, you
of
go
this
ahead.
film?
I normally go first.
No, I feel like you mirror reviews. I want you to go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought this was looking up, wanting to know that this was historically accurate because it interested me in that point. This was, I thought, so well done. I was expecting it to be very gentle around the subject. And that first battle, especially when you just see Matthew Broderick and they're all walking in and he's pointing his sword forward and they're saying, and no one's firing and they're getting cannon fire and musket fire.
Head blows up.
Head blows up. That was it. Exactly that. I went, oh, right. They're not going to shy away from this. And then you've got Matthew Broderick's character. He's suffering from PTSD. So just sticking straight to the film story. Let's just stick straight to the film story. He goes on a massive character arc, as do basically everyone in this film. I'm going to say except Carrie Elway's character, because he was just the same character all the way through, and that is not a bad thing. He
started off a just man.
Yeah,
you know?
he was already there, and so that isn't saying that character is bad. It was just, no, he was there and maintained. I thought the attention to detail in some of these things, because I've only seen them, but I've seen pictures of American buildings, so I know some of them still kind of look like that if you go to certain places. So, but the fact that they maintained that, the costume design, and the fact that there were so many extras in this film, I thought that was, considering it was 1989 and the budget they had, I thought that was really impressive. And I've got to give two shouts out, because I am not a Matthew Broderick fan. This is easily his best acting role I have ever seen. I know films are shot out of continuity, but it looks like his acting gets better throughout the film, and I also think that part of that is his character arc, so he's allowed to act more, he's allowed to emote that character more. And I've just got to say this is Meltzer scale acting from Denzel Washington. This is his film. It was fucking astonishing. This is brilliant. Denzel Washington, I think we're all in agreement, he's a generational actor. This was brilliant from him. This was just, to watch him on screen is a joy to watch. And all the supporting characters, I mean, Morgan Freeman is Morgan Freeman. He's great. He's great.
Yeah.
Right? I am thoroughly glad I watched this. This is going to sound really stupid, but because it's not completely historically accurate or like totally accurate, oversimplified, possibly the best YouTube history channel, which is what it is. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, I think me and you have found ourselves on the same channel when watching Kingdom of Heaven, I believe.
Yeah, and it's just basically giving you the cliff notes, but for people who wouldn't be interested in this, it's like, it tells you what it is. It's entertaining. You want to watch it. This is kind of like a movie version of Oversimplified. I don't want to knock anything down by saying that. It's entertaining. People come away going, I didn't know about that. I didn't really care about that, but I know about that now. I might want to look it up further. And that is what this film kind of did for me. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. But the fact that Matthew Broderick made me like his character, that is impressive, because I'm not a fan of his in general. I'm going to give this a good 8, an absolute 8, especially for 1989, because they weren't pouring money into films really back then, especially not films like this, especially not films that would be about a historical black, centric, nature. Great film. Soundtrack I really liked. I actually worked a bit out of it on guitar. Really, I was thinking, what scale is that? And I worked some of the music out. So I really enjoyed the music when it kicked in, because I didn't notice it right until the end, and then it became a bit grandiose. But I really liked that. The acting is fantastic. Costumes are fantastic. I think I've read about the fort that didn't ultimately get defeated. I think I've actually read about that in the past, but it is a bit of a spotty part of my history knowledge. But yeah, good, absolutely good 8, and thank you for recommending it. That is my review.
Cool beans.
What about
My
a
turn?
Muppet rating?
Muppet rating. I'm gonna give it a 4 because looking into it, the whole shoes thing. Apparently, they were more well equipped than most of the white people that were fighting the war, because the governor, like, it was his pet project, so he gave all the African American soldiers, he gave them all the equipment they needed. So the whole, like, the shoes thing and all that was Muppetism. Just it's like, you didn't need to do that. That was just like an extra, like, arrow to throw. But yeah, so I'll give it a 4, and yeah, we'll stick with that. So it's a solid 8, great music, and they took some liberties that I just, maybe they didn't need to take them, but I didn't write this film, so.
All right, Quintana.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going Meltzer, bro. I'm going Meltzer.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yeah, brother. I'm not like a crazy guy when
That's
it comes to
very
war
surprising.
movies by any means. As a war movie, this blew me away. As a movie, this blew me away. As the acting, everything in this movie blew me away. From the music to the acting performances to the storyline. It's really funny that you mentioned The Last Samurai. I guess same director. After you said that, I started to think about it. I was like, wow. I was like, Last Samurai can have its slow points, but it never feels like the movie is still, if that makes sense. Like, it's a constant, really good flow. Even when the characters are having conversation, it's like, I'm here for it. I am so entertained. I want to learn more about these characters in every way. Moving on to the characters a little bit, like Craig said, everyone had a great story arc. The characters who needed it, the characters who I didn't even know that I cared about in the first 5 minutes, had phenomenal story arcs. I mean, you literally, it is so hard for directors, writers, for them to get right, let alone one person, and to kind of have a story arc for them. I'm going to say it a million times: story arc, story arc, story arc. But for these characters, man, this director managed to make almost every character that was on screen important in their own way. From, I don't know if he was an officer or a colonel, the guy who ended up lashing Denzel, even he had like his own little thing, and you got to know about his character just from brief conversations that he had with Ferris Bueller. Moving into Ferris Bueller, dude, holy shit. First 5 minutes of this fucking movie, I was sitting there like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past this. And then 30 minutes into the movie, I'm like, I completely forgot, because his character was so great. You could see him grow in real time as the character. And he has his PTSD. He's shell shocked, and maybe he felt like a coward in what he did, but he didn't fucking lie to people. I mean, he kind of did, but he said, guess what? I'm going to grow to become that man. I want to be that man that actually does the shit that he was meant to do. His character was phenomenal. I thought his acting was fantastic. Hands down, his best acting role. I think I've only ever seen him in one other movie, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So, that's coming from short experience when it comes to watching him perform. But by God, him, Denzel, Morgan Freeman, this cast was star-studded, and it fucking worked. This movie kind of knocked my fucking socks off. Like I said, those still times where their characters are talking, great moments. And then when you get to the battle sequences, at no point did this movie feel like it had an $18 million budget. This felt like a massive production. They did so well with the towns, the army, the costumes, everything that you need to make a movie feel real, to help you escape. This movie fucking had it. Never big on war movies. This is probably right up there with Hacksaw Ridge for me. I could personally give a fuck about, how accurate it was to history. All I know is that someone said Black Americans needed this story told. And I think that is hugely important. In school growing up, I never fucking heard about, You know, the 52. That shit
54.
that should have the 54. That shit should have been taught in school, bro. That should have been focused on because it is such a testament to how fucking dope our country can be when it is great. So,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, bro. I'm going Meltzer on this movie. It was awesome. Let me see what else I have written down here.
I'm genuinely shocked by that.
Yeah, no, it was fucking great. I have no complaints about this movie, truthfully. I think the shoe thing that Craig said, that'll bump my Muppet reading up to maybe 1 or 2. Just from like the little smirk when he came out. It was a scene that needed to happen because it is a big part of his character's development. And he's like, I'm rooting for you guys. But like, it was kind of weird how that whole scene went down. And then he comes out and he gave us like a little smirk. It was like a lighthearted moment that kind of needed to happen, but maybe I just didn't feel like they did it the best way. But like, that's not a real problem with the fucking movie for me. So once again, Meltzer, Muppet rating, I'll give it like a 1 or 2, maybe. God damn, the fact that this movie had an $18 million budget is mind blowing to me. That's what I got.
That's insane, man.
It is mind blowing. It's $18 million budget. I'm kind of mind
Especially
blown that it only
considering
made $29 million in return.
Considering the cast.
Oh,
What, were they just doing this on pro bono or something? Like,
right?
Well, you also gotta remember,
I mean, you got to
it was
think black
before-
actors, bro.
It was also before Denzel was like a megastar.
Not to mention that, but I mean, to get this role as a black actor, do you know how empowering that must feel? To say I get to kind of go back in time and live that, not live it, you know, obviously
yeah,
they're on set, but to be able to represent, you know, some black Americans that didn't get that fucking the recognition that they deserved, at least in my childhood. I didn't know about them, you know. That was probably amazing. I probably would have read the script as a black man and been like, yes, I don't pay me fucking $2. I'm in, dude.
Yeah. There's a Bill Burr sketch. He's talking about the film Pride, and it like popped in my head. So just the whole time I was just watching this, I thought they shouldn't call this Glory. They should call it Pride. And I remember there was Bill Burr does a sketch about the first African black swim team or something like that, and it's called Pride. I was like, they should have gotten there with that first, because that is what this. I kept thinking throughout this film. This is about their pride.
And one super last quick thing on my review. They also didn't just show the good side of. Is it what's the good side called? The good side, you know, like the North,
The Union.
So,
yeah,
the Union. Okay, so it is the Union. Okay,
or you could do the United States because they're still the same country.
Correct.
It's the South that tried to become something else.
So the Union, though, they didn't just show the good side. They weren't like, oh, it's all glamorous and everyone was great that was fighting for the Union. They showed the fucked up shit that happened there too, and I think that's always important to tell in a story.
Yeah,
that's just one little last thing I wanted to add.
Every war has that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you do the slightest scratch the surface on any war, both sides commit atrocities in like even if it's like the smallest minorities, stuff like that does happen. I just want to say, and like there was one scene I was really worried about, and I know Brian, I'm sorry, I'm stealing from you here for your review.
Fuck you, Brian. You don't get a review.
yeah. Fuck you. This is about me. No, when they do that town thing, I was so worried when the guys started running the buildings. They were looting. I thought something else was going to happen, and I was like, "Oh, please!"
I thought they were gonna R word, SA them.
Yeah. And I was like, "Please, for God's sake, no!" And the guys just going. The white brigadier is going, "Go and do that." I was like, "Oh no, please!" Like I had a genuine, like, no, please.
Dread in your heart, yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you got, brother?
Come on, it's your pick.
Well, this is my pick. This is by far my favorite film about the American Civil War. And when I was picking this, I was thinking, like, yeah, this is going to be a 10 for me. This is my favorite film about this historical period. I'm going to give it a 9, though. Watching it back, I think my criticisms would be they're very small, but it's mainly because that opening scene is one of the best opening. It's the best Civil War battle depiction that I think is out there because it truly shows how horrific that war was in terms
Felt like a
of
Ridley
the
Scott
cost.
scene.
Yes, but if you notice, like later on when they do battle scenes or skirmishes or whatever, in the later parts, they don't go as horrifying as they did in that first
Fair.
scene. If they had stuck with that, because like
That's
people
the
were
Ridley Scott in you.
limbs in. Well, I mean, it's just also like the Civil War. Like people, one of the things I hate about most Civil War films, I hate because they actually do not really show how brutal and just absolutely terrifying the combat was and the wounds that people got. I mean, it's horrific stuff, and it's also called the medical dark ages because basically, they're like, oh, you're injured, let's get a saw out and cut part of you off and then throw it away, and then they'd wipe it off once or twice and be like, next, bring the next guy in. So it's just really horrific stuff, and the opening scene of the film really shows how horrifying it was. So if they kept that same tone with the later battle scenes, probably would give it a 10. I'm going to give it a 9 though. But
Do you think budget is to fault there for how in depth they went, or do you just think it was not so many close up shots and more wide angles to really capture the atmosphere of how crazy that battle was? Why do you think they kind of made that switch?
It could be a mixture of the two. I don't know. It's just, I mean, you really gotta. It could be also be like, hey, let's just focus on getting this film done or something, and or just focus on making the opening scene like, shocking and horrifying, and then later scenes focus on, other things. Anyway, this film is a 9 for me. You guys touched a lot on the other things that are truly wonderful about this film: the music, the cast. Matthew, I was actually very curious to hear both of your takes on Matthew Broderick as the lead. Says if you look at past reviews, some people have mixed feelings about it. I think it's genius casting, actually, because he really portrays that character perfectly in the sense where there's times where he's not very sure of himself, but at the same time, he's always focused on the job at hand, which is to get these guys ready for war. But in order to navigate that, he's, there's hiccups along the way. Whether he's talking to Sergeant Mulcahy and being like, hey, maybe you're being too hard on these guys, or whether he's talking to his buddy Carrie Elways, who, is not happy with him being so hard on the men. So it's kind of like pulling back and forth. His character's very... Matthew Broderick's character, he goes through some mental gymnastics to really get what he's trying to. But at his heart, he's an abolitionist. He believes in what he's doing.
What is an abolitionist for?
Somebody who wants to
slavery.
free slavery and free the slaves. So, and Denzel Washington, he won an Oscar for this role. It was his first Oscar.
He did. I didn't actually look that up.
I don't like.
I was going to say this film deserved many Oscars, but I'm glad to hear they got one.
He, it was best supporting actor. So, as you guys know,
they were nominated for a lot.
As you guys know, like I don't carry a lot of weight with Oscars, but whenever it's like, you recognize a performance that definitely deserves recognition, then you really got to point it out here.
To be fair, in '89, Oscars actually meant something. Like it would have been the 1990, 1990 if it came out then.
Yeah,
but back then they meant something, and god damn it, did he earn that Oscar?
Rain Man won the Oscar that year. Tom Cruise.
It's never going to be that. A neurodivergence. That is also it is an Oscar bait film. I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, but yeah, this film, it really it's not too long. It's like the perfect time for a story like this, and a lot of the stuff in here is pretty much true. There's some liberties taken with it, but there's not a fuck ton or anything. and it's even some of the inaccurate things they're playing on other things that may have happened elsewhere in the war. So it's not one of these historically inaccurate blasphemies like a lot of Ridley Scott's films, even though I love him. But it's fairly accurate. The every battle in this film did happen, and the particularly the one at Fort Wagner. That
when they bought up Gettysburg at one
is
point.
pretty with the way it went down. It's probably the most accurate depiction of a battle and what actually happened there than the other ones in this film. So I'm giving it a 9. Muppet rating, I'll give it a 1 just because there's. I felt like at times some of the dialogue was like a little stiff or kind of like inspirationally cheesy in a way. But that happens in films like this sometimes. So
today we celebrate our Independence Day.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like that in this, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's not that overt, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's this is my favorite. I really picked this because I wanted to pick a war film. We haven't done that, and this is my favorite depiction of the American Civil War. I cannot stress this enough. That opening scene with the Battle of Antietam is
crazy.
It like with his head exploding and the guy crawling away with one leg. Like that's the Civil War. Like people think it's just a bunch of people standing out and shooting and then they just fall down. Like no, people were literally blown to bits like constantly throughout this. Especially the big battles when there was a lot of artillery fire and things. So it was truly horrific. But anyway, who wants to chime in here?
I want to go on from that because you will know this better than me because, like I said, it's a gap in my knowledge and my American historical knowledge mostly comes from the National Treasure films, right? So I am woefully. Right, I am woefully.
That's a fair statement, bro. I remember more
fine.
about those movies than I do history class in school. That's fucking great.
When they're just charging, they're not even charging. They're marching towards, and they've got their swords pointed, and they have got cannon fire. Now, the one problem I did have with this scene is the amount of cannon fire, because I know how long it took to reload cannons. It wasn't an immediate thing. It was just, but they had a constant barrage. They had constant fire. Did this kind of thing happen? Like, what was their goal? No one was shooting back. No one was like they were literally.
It seems really stupid the way that they fought battles back then. It's like, all right, the guys in the front fucking row are dead. Like you're just accepting that you're dying in this situation. I think I even texted you guys in chat. I was like, "This is fucking stupid."
Yeah,
but that's what happened.
You literally said, "I'm watching the movie." 2 minutes later, wow, these tactics are terrible.
So bad, bro. Fucking, they should have followed the native
to answer your question, yes, and it's attributed to they were fighting Napoleonic tactics with modern weapons, and it's what they were doing, especially in the first year or two. Yeah, and then later on in the war, it became more like World War I because they did a lot of entrenching and stuff because they had to adapt because everybody was just getting blown away.
And also the cannons in the Civil War. I mean, I just kind of looked it up just out of curiosity, but they could fire 2 rounds per minute. So let's say they had fucking 10 cannons set up, they would sound like constant cannon fire. You know what I mean?
And that's actually that was the other part of Craig's question. Yes, there are instances in the war where they would concentrate like all these cannons in this one area. I can think of a specific battle, the Battle of Shiloh. There was a place called the Hornet's Nest, and I think it was they concentrated like it's in a very small area, basically the size of a football field, and in order to stop the to blow away the Union troops that were refusing to give any ground there, they concentrated 42 cannon on that one area. And it was basically just the size of a football field. And it literally blew people to bits, like hundreds of people. So,
I mean, you could also think back to Kingdom of Heaven. If they were trying to just break something down, fucking hitting one spot in particular that would have the most devastating impact on the forces would make the most sense. But I guess from the perspective, if you're not thinking about a big barrier, I would have that same question.
I did like them. I don't know how. I've never seen this before in a film, but they were hitting the trees. So the trees were they were like cutting the trees in half, basically.
Oh, you mean when a cannonball would like go through the trees and then you'd see like a branch fall or something? Yeah.
Yeah, just disrupting the formation. I've never seen that before in a film, and careful with the plant.
Smash my fucking head on that.
Gave you a little slap.
There's a few of those in this movie.
There's one big one.
Oh god, there's one. Morgan Freeman. Oh, he did
that dialogue. That dialogue was probably. It was just really good. Really good dialogue.
I loved that dialogue. We cannot repeat it.
No, let's just actually breeze over that. Let's just breeze over.
We can't repeat it, otherwise they're going to think we're Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
we're not going Mel Gibson on this one. That dialogue, that last line, when he said, "The only one here is you," and you just see it, just like the cogs start turning in his head.
It was a very humbling experience for him, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he needed it. Mm-hmm.
Kicked his ass into shape too.
Any other historical questions you have for me, Craig?
Brian probably has a little list of shit.
No, it's just like I actually don't. It's just all the before you ask another question, because you're saying I'm the history guy. This is one of all the events in American history. This is probably the one I know the most about. So
sure.
But I don't know everything. But if there were two things that I know a shit ton about, it's probably this and ancient Greece. I don't know.
Yeah.
And also. All right, go ahead.
We just can't have anything nice.
Let me see what he wrote here. Let me see.
Just things you know everything about.
You actually could ask me about that. There's here. I'll tell you something that's crazy because I was talking about.
Please talk about guns. Please say it's about guns.
Well, here I'll
validate Craig. Validate him right now.
Yeah. So I was talking about how that basically the Civil War from a military standpoint was just utterly horrifying. One of the reasons because it's pretty famous that during the American Civil War, amputations of limbs was just through the fucking roof, and there was a big reason for that. You remember the scene in there where they actually they open the boxes and they get their rifles for the first time?
Yeah.
And if you notice, he says the 57 caliber rifle musket. Mm-hmm. Now I want you to think about that for a second because you guys. You
said 50 caliber musket?
57.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so if you guys have heard of a 50 caliber machine gun, right?
Yeah, that would blow a fucking limb off, if not take out your whole torso.
Yeah, but so this is a ball bearing, though. This would be a ball bearing.
Yeah, but still, bro, that's fucking.
No, this is a bullet. Yeah. This is a bullet. This is a bullet. It's
it was an actual. They had what like.
It was called the mini ball, but it was a bullet. It was and it had grooves in the back that helped it travel farther. So if you compare this to a flintlock, musket or something from the Revolutionary days, those weapons were probably accurate at maybe 100 yards. The rifle musket was accurate at 250. So, because it could travel a lot farther because of the rifling grooves and stuff. So, this bullet is 57 caliber. So, when this thing hits you, in the arm, modern bullets, they might nick some of the bone off or something. With the 57 caliber mini ball, if it hit you here, you didn't have any bone from here to here. So, they didn't have a choice. You got to cut the arm off.
So, it might have been, it's been a cannonball.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
all
not
effect.
that big, but
No, a cannonball would have fucking exploded your whole body.
No, but if you got hit in the arm with a cannonball, or if you got hit with that, the end result is the effect. The end result is the same effect. You've lost an arm.
yeah.
That was
Depending on things, but yeah, it's kind of the same, I guess. But if that thing hits you here, like in the leg, you got to get amputated immediately because you can't set the bone if there's nothing between here and here. You know, it's gone. So that was the reason for all the amputations over there. That gun was a menace. It really was.
Bro, you could still buy some of these rifles online, like the actual rifles. Granted, like the ones I'm looking at are like 37,000, 17,000. But you know how fucking cool that would be to have on your fucking wall, dude? That would be so sick.
Those are probably the ones that are like have actually been used in the war,
yeah,
like as antiques. But you could get like people still make them like today, and you can use them for like reenactments and stuff.
Oh no, I would want
Civil War.
I would want one that was like back then. I would want like one that was literally in the war.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. Which one would you buy though?
I buy the one in the fucking war. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, this is saying like that I had $1 million that I could just shit away. You know what I mean?
It's like George S. Patton. Who's this guy? Oh, never mind. Put it on my wall.
Yeah, Civil War reenactments are like the big thing in the United States. Like it's the most like, you know, all the history nerds, they dress up and pretend they're fighting the American Civil War again. It's a big deal. In fact, it's such a big deal. Yeah, well, dude, it's most popular in the South because they get to pretend that they won.
Or all racist fucks.
they did that on Family Guy. They actually
they just say the R a little heavier than they should.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Fuck, dude.
The only one that goes harder is Mel Gibson. But
he goes on. I do love this about this film. At the end, during the credits, it does actually say thanks to all the people, basically all the living, I don't know what they call them, living historical actors. To basically people who do this from 20 different states who gave their time, volunteered their time, their knowledge, and their equipment.
Fucking losers.
Shut
up. No, that's the fun side of. I mean, yeah. Like at one half of it is like, hey,
it's important
you guys need to get a
history.
life. But then the other half is like, it's really cool. And in this instance, basically, like 3/4 of the people that you see, like in the uniforms and stuff, are reenactors in every scene, pretty much. So,
and that's gonna be
coolest thing. And they pretty much do it for. I think they pretty much do it for free. They're like, yeah, we'll bring all our shit and we'll do it for free, no problem.
Yeah.
And
so,
this is gonna be the weirdest film tangent. Shaun of the Dead. So, but when they filmed that, bear with me. Shaun of the Dead.
Can't wait.
All the fans from Spaced. So Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg on the
Edgar Wright is new Dumbledore, right?
No,
he's a director.
Who's the guy who's always with Simon Pegg, the chubbier guy?
Nick Frost.
Gotcha, that's who I'm thinking
and
of.
he's the new Hagrid.
Hagrid. What did I say? Dumbledore? Oh,
Dumbledore.
Fuck.
Anyway, moving swiftly on. When they were filming, because they had such a low budget for Shaun of the Dead, they went onto the Spaced website and said, "Hey guys, if any of you got the super fan base, if anyone wants to be in this film, we can only pay you £1, but you will be an extra on film." Because they just didn't have the budget to pay all extras. So, and all those people turned up and just got done up in the makeup, got paid about. They were just happy to be in the films, and that's that. I know that it's such a weird tangent, but it's just you can't help make.
Oh no, 100%.
That.
Yeah. No, Civil War reenactors, like anytime there's a Civil War film, they're like, we're ready. We're ready.
They
turn up every single time. Like
that's why the budget was only 18. They didn't have to pay 1,000 extras.
Do you know what? I think that is a big reason why.
Here's the cool thing. Like they don't. So other thing is, it's probably even less money spent than you think because a lot of the reenactors bring their own shit. So they bring their own equipment and stuff. So the studios and stuff, they don't have to do anything. You know,
That's what they said. It said on there, and their equipment. So
Yeah.
they would have been bringing all their own, all their own gar. It's like, oh my god, I was doing this in the county fair. I'm gonna be on the big screen.
Yeah.
They rocked up in their best.
Civil War reenactors were heavily used, involved in extras in the movie Glory, contributing to the film's realistic portrayal. 54th Massachusetts Regiment. So technical advisors bought their own uniforms, and that's so sick, bro.
That is great.
Me and my father
I love that.
actually were thinking about, because we were still living in Maryland at the time. Me and my father were actually talking about, because it was right around the time when the 150th anniversary of some of these battles was coming up, and we lived like near.
Surprised you didn't go.
Close enough to Gettysburg and Antietam, and there's Northern Virginia's right there. A lot of battles happen there. But me and my father were talking for a while about going to some of these, and maybe even participating. But it would have cost like maybe not like a ridiculous amount of money, but we just didn't feel like spending the money to like get like uniforms and those.
That'd be pretty cool to go to nowadays, honestly.
Oh yeah. They have them, and they have them all over too. It's pretty cool stuff. What do you guys want to touch on now?
I want to touch on this. Just purely because it bugs me when it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Right. So it's a bit of a knock on the film, but just purely because. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's a bit."
I've got one too. Sorry.
The lashing scene, they didn't do that that just wouldn't have happened in the army. They wouldn't. It was abolished doing that kind of thing, and apparently, the whip that was used, the person using the whip was actually doing it like for real. But it was designed in the way that it wouldn't cut Denzel Washington, and Zwick didn't call cut, and that's what actually resulted in Denzel Washington's tear, like because they just kept going, and that's what Denzel just like the fact that it just kept going, not because of the acting and he didn't call cut, but because it was just sustained. Apparently, that is what resulted in that tear. But it seemed like such a big character moment for him.
That was a scene that was made up for effect to kind of beat in the audience's head that this guy used to be a slave. Nobody was ever flogged in the United States Army. That's never happened.
It was a hard scene to watch, as it is in any
because
movie.
It's a great scene.
It's a great scene. That's probably the scene that got him the Oscar, honestly.
Oh yeah,
it's a beautiful scene. And also him when he sat on the log looking at the lake, and then Matthew Broderick goes and talks to him. Like Denzel is an absolute powerhouse in this film, and at that young an age as well. Mm-hmm. No wonder he won an Oscar for this. Jesus Christ, completely.
How old was he in this?
Oh Christ!
Because Morgan Freeman looks the fucking same in every movie, no matter how many decades it's been. He just looks exactly the fucking same.
He does. Denzel was, my guess is like somewhere around 30.
What does a young Morgan Freeman even look like?
Oh, I think I've seen him something young, and he actually looks quite different. So he's 70. So he's born in 54.
Oh wow! I didn't know he served. Holy shit! He was in the Air Force.
Who was?
Morgan Freeman.
Ah.
So it would have been 25? Yeah, 25.
He enlisted in 1955 after graduating high school, initially turning down a drama scholarship to pursue his interest in flying. While he aimed to be a fighter pilot, he became a radar repairman working on automatic tracking radar system stations. He served for 4 years and was honorably discharged as Airman First Class in 1959. Fun fact. Never knew that.
Interesting. I didn't know that either. I did not.
We haven't focused enough on fucking Ferris Bueller, dude. He's great in this. And I think, Craig, you kind of said it best. His acting did get better as the film went on, but that is because, like you said, also his character developing. It was great. They gave him more opportunities to let his light shine. I don't know how old he was supposed to be in the film. I did find it 23. He did look like he wasn't. He looked super young. The mustache and the little thing wasn't crazy convincing. I don't know if that was fake or if he grew it himself. But he did look a hell of a lot younger than 23. But maybe we just age quicker nowadays. I don't know. Honestly, no.
I think he was. It was prosthetics because Ferris Bueller was at least 85. I think it was 86. So
what's that? How do you? Sorry, go ahead.
So you're talking 3 years after Ferris Bueller here, and he's growing a full-on mustache and goatee. He's so baby-faced on Ferris Bueller.
Yeah. Brian, are there any scenes that you want to touch on?
I bullet pointed like a dozen in here. You want me to start going through these?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's run it, bro.
Okay, I'd already touched on the opening battle scene, which, like, it's the best depiction of the Civil War in terms of combat and how horrifying it was, so we touched on that. I just want to highlight Sergeant Mulcahy really quick, because if Mel Gibson was an Irishman, this guy, for sure.
They weren't Jewish, mate. They weren't Jewish.
The most badass Irishman on the planet. I just love his character because he just does not care. He's like, I don't care what they're going to hear from me because my job is to get them in shape for war. I chuckle every fucking time I see when he's training them and he walks up to fucking... What's his fucking name? Snowflake. Thomas, yeah. And he goes, oh my God, it's a prince. What are you, a member of Congress or something? Or are you the bloody Prince of Africa? And then he turns to him and he goes, don't look at me, just look straight ahead.
And then he grabs his face.
Yeah.
He grabs his head.
He also taunts Denzel. He's like, do you think truly cut your balls off at birth? It's just crazy. Like, he doesn't get, like, he's like, dude, I'm going to say the meanest shit to you because what you're going to go through is much worse than anything I can say to you. And he especially makes a pet project out of Thomas in this movie, as we can see, where that's where I think the genius of Matthew Broderick's portrayal of that character comes in again, because if you remember the first time he talks to Sergeant Mulcahy, he's stops him in the middle of training Thomas, and he goes, maybe I wonder if you, and he says in that uppity Massachusetts accent, I wonder if you're treating these men too hard. And
too hard.
And he's like, no, let him. He's your friend, is he? He's like, yeah, we grew up together. Yes. He's like, let him grow up some more. But then the next time you see him talk to Sergeant Mulcahy, he what does he do? He's sorry, I'm having a fucking...
I thought he said let him grow up on his own. But it's same as...
No, he said let him grow up some more.
More, yeah.
Yeah. But the next time he talks to Sergeant Mulcahy, he's messing with Thomas again. And then it's the bayonet scene where he knocks him down on the ground. And then he goes, no shame, son, get up. And then he refuses to get up. And Denzel says he just forgot to duck, that's all. And that's when, this time, Matthew Broderick's character goes, Sergeant Mulcahy, I want you to deal with that man right now.
What does he whisper to him? Is that a thing or no? Do we ever get what he whispers
says something
to him?
He says something about keeping his mouth shut. And then he throws him. That's something like that. But the first time Robert Shaw talks to Mulcahy, he's like, maybe you're being too hard. And then the second time, he's like, no, you're not being hard enough. Go talk to him and put him in line. But anyway, The rifle loading scene. Anybody recognize this scene a little bit? You guys have seen Last Samurai, right?
Yes.
I've seen it, but I didn't
Same
recognize
director. It's almost a carbon copy.
Literally
Dude.
the same scene. It was kind of crazy.
It
Now
wasn't
you
ringing a
put two
bell,
and two
but
together. I was like, I've seen this before, and then when you guys said that, I was like, okay, I get it.
dude, I never made that connection. But I was waiting for you. I was like, okay, as soon as you finish this, I'm going to bring it up because that where he just loses it because he's got the PSTD and PTSD,
Yeah.
and he's just shooting the gun and he's just losing because he's been through it and he knows what it's like in the heat of battle, having that musket right, like gunfire right behind your head that you have to perform now. You have to do this. This is what war is like. War isn't you stand and you shoot
It's
a
like
bottle.
filming a porno, you know? Can you really fuck when that
you
camera's
perform.
right behind your head, you know? Same exact thing.
I'm still waiting for you to...
You're a maniac, Quentin. You literally, he's comparing war to porn. You're a fucking psychopath. Something wrong with you, dude.
Bodies everywhere, body fluid everywhere. Everyone's passed out. Everyone's not moving. It's the same thing. No, but that scene. If he didn't bring it up, I was going to bring it up because that was actually quite powerful in terms of him going through that trauma. But then everyone's like so proud of him, and he can realize this guy has got talent. But then he's just going, right, can you do it though? Are you actually going to be fit for service? And also the fact that turns into his storyline of these guys aren't actually going to go see action when that is what they want to do. And all they want to do is they want to fight. Like none of them left when they were given the opportunity to. And also then they get the pay cut. And that goes into the scene where Broderick goes. I don't know who the actor is. He looks like Bill Murray's brother, and he just goes in and he has all of his main army guys, like all the ones he's close with. They all stand around the door. He goes in and he just starts like throwing the shit. Like
when he's trying to get the shoes from the
trying to get the
quartermaster.
shoes, yeah. And he just goes ham on it and like fucking love that scene.
There was some. Sorry.
No.
So with the whole shoes thing, I get that obviously, but like those fucking feet, these people should die from infection in like a week with what those fucking feet looked like, bro. That was brutal, and I'm sorry, but throwing some new socks on that and throwing some new shoes isn't gonna fucking make you just start walking perfectly again. Like they should have been fucked up. Those feet looked. I gagged. Like it was bad, bro.
Yeah.
I can touch on that a little bit. First of all, the
resilience.
The number one cause of death in the Civil War was not actually combat; it was disease.
Makes sense.
But a lot of that had to, if you got again, it was the medical dark ages, and if you got a wound, it usually festered, and then you were fucked.
Trench foot.
There was there was also a lot of that with they would amputate the limbs, have to do it in order to save your life. They would have to do it repeatedly. So like it would cut it off, then something would get infected here. They'd have to cut a little more.
I just looked at a picture of trench foot. Oh fuck.
Yeah. So that was a thing. Also, because I heard you mention, Craig, in the beginning that with this particular unit, that scene where they didn't they went to get the shoes because they were keeping the shoes from him, and that is true that they were very well equipped when they were up north. But that scene in particular, that happened a lot in the Civil War. Very much so on the southern side, but it also happened. It was very common in the north side as well, but the south side it was so common. Like most of the units didn't even have shoes; they just marched barefoot and went everywhere barefoot.
Jesus Christ! I can't even walk in my backyard barefoot.
If they would drive the Union troops from a position. The Confederate troops, if they would drive the Union troops from a position, some of them would even take the time to whichever Union troops were just killed, they would start ripping the shoes off of them immediately to take them for themselves as they were in the middle of combat. Like, that's how valuable shoes were to the South, because almost none of them had them.
Shoemakers must have been making fucking bread. What a time to be a shoemaker.
I've seen that in so many films, though, people stealing shoes. There's like one scene that's like played in my head. I can't place the film, but I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, but in the South, like, they would literally drive them from their position, and as they're marching to chase after them, they'd walk past the corpse and immediately would start taking the shoes off. Like, that's how valuable they were to the Southern troops, because they didn't have any. They didn't have socks, shoes, most of the time, nothing. So that happened a lot. May not have happened with this unit in the North, but I'm sure when they got down South, shoes became a big problem.
Commodity, yeah.
Yeah. Where am I in these notes here? Sergeant Mulcahy. Keep being Mel Gibson.
I have to buy my socks off Amazon because I'm a size 13 in the UK. So I think that's a 14 in the US. So whenever I go to the shop, it goes from like 9 to 12. That's the big man shoe. Like, no, the big man sock. I have to get mine off Amazon, man. Fucking hell.
So does that mean that your wiener is 1 inch smaller in the US?
No, just in general. It's 1 inch smaller here as well.
I love you. I love you.
Genuinely, I bought some big man socks. Like, they came last week. Oh my god, it's so much easier. I can just like put them on. Like, normally I'm like struggling to put my socks on because I've got like one size too small, and it's just like, oh god. That is such a weird tangent. Sorry, I did not want to derail this brilliant film.
All right, Craig, do you have big feet?
So we got. I have you in real school now, ain't you, Snowflake? When he fucking, I still laugh to this day when he's like, yeah, you in real school now, but then he puts the hat over his head and he goes, oh, and then he walks up and he's like, you still in there?
No, he taps it.
He's a psycho, bro.
Denzel's, he's fucking torturing that poor dude. But
I think my favorite movie with him is not favorite movie, but one that I really love is Johnny Q. I think it is.
John Q. Yes,
John
I like that
Q.
movie too.
Oh, it's so good, bro.
Craig mentioned this earlier too. The scene where they have to get paid, and then he announces that their army wage is $13 a month, but because they're black troops, that they get $10 a month. This is a true thing. This was real.
No way.
So it happened, and you see all the guys tearing up their pieces of paper because they refused to submit that kind of thing. That was true too. A lot of them just decided, hey, like, we haven't had anything our whole lives anyway. What's a couple dollars going to do if you're not going to pay us what the other troops make? Then we're just not going to be paid. So
and you're probably going to fucking die in the coming months. You know.
What I read, so take this with a grain of salt. I read it off the internet. It was that federally, they were going to get paid $10, but the state of Massachusetts said they would pay the rest, but because it wasn't federal, they refused. I don't know how that works. I don't know. I'm genuinely not going to lie. I don't know exactly what that means. But
yes, we're sending you to die for your country, but we're not going to give you a $3 raise. Imagine that conversation. Holy fuck.
They did correct it, though. I think towards the end of the war, they actually did make it 13 for the black American troops as well. Good. But that scene was also the inspiration for DMX's Tear It Up, if you didn't know.
I did not know that. I do enjoy me.
That's actually DMX. Just a guess.
Oh, you're.
I love me some DMX. Man. Tear it up.
Tear it up.
Yeah.
I suck dick, but I ain't gay though. I catch you in my jail cell, but I'll fuck you. But I ain't gay though. Every line, bro. He says the craziest shit, and then he retracts it by saying no homo.
I was gonna say something so insensitive then, but so I have to say it now.
Wait, how?
I'm scared.
How insensitive?
It's really insensitive for me to even think it.
Please don't go full Mel Gibson.
No. My job. So I'm up in the Northeast and got two other places that do what we do. in our company, both of them get paid more than us for the same job. One of them's down in the south. Down south, cost of living costs more. One of them is like in the east, like more north than anything than middle of England. They get paid more, same job. I was like, and everyone fucking hates that fact. So because those were established before we opened, they get paid more. We sign these contracts and we get paid less. Same job, exactly the same thing, and it's actually easier to do their job down there, like in the other two, because it's just bigger space.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I'm comparing myself to, well, they weren't
Ex-slaves.
No. Here's the thing. Actually, I was going to say that, but
Craig's like, oh no, I can relate. Let me tell you about the South in the North in Britain.
In 2025. No, here's one thing I did know. There were some ex-slaves, but it was mostly
Free slaves?
No,
Or
free
black-
men,
yeah.
free black people who
who were already
volunteered.
living up north. Most of them in that particular unit, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't like runaway slaves that then decided.
In fact,
to join.
two of Frederick Douglass's sons served in the 54th Massachusetts.
No shit.
Yeah, they had
Why didn't they
Frederick
take
Douglass in the
liberty?
movie. I'm surprised they didn't put that in there. I
It's
don't know.
actually surprising that they didn't choose to, but maybe they
Yeah.
didn't want to take away from the script, which is fair.
Here's another one. There was I forget what his name was, but there was a gentleman who participated in the assault on Fort Wagner. He ended up wounded 5 times, so he had 5 gunshot wounds, and he made it back while still carrying the flag. They awarded him with the Medal of Honor, but he had to wait 37 years to get it or something like that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. So
That's so
Right.
fucked, bro.
Do you know what that reminded me of? And this is gonna again. I'm doing terrible comparison.
So why do it?
So
Go
why
ahead.
do it? No. Because both of our fucking governments are fucked. Brian, right? So that Quentin, like this might one might go over your head. Alan Turing.
yeah.
Right, it's not.
Yeah, but he's
comparable
not
enough.
waiting on a plaque. He's not waiting on a plaque. They're like literally like chemically castrating this motherfucker. It's totally different.
It is
I
totally,
don't
it's
think, I
totally
don't think
different.
that's an apt
But no, he got
comparison at all.
he was given a pardon, but he was given a pardon in like 1998 or something like that.
Yeah, after he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife just texted me. She goes, "My parents actually, they still have a sword from the Civil War," and then I said, "But from which side of the Civil War?" It's a Union side. We're all good.
Well, they are from North Carolina, so they might.
It's
It
side.
might be from the southern side. Although no, and here's another thing that people don't know. Like there was actually I think every state in the South actually had troops that fought on the northern side, except for South Carolina. South Carolina was notorious for being rebel country all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing that confused me when they all got. I think it said South Carolina. That's when they do the town burning, and they do all the looting.
Was
I
it
think
North and South Carolina, or was it at one point in time? Was it just Carolina, or no? It was
No,
always.
it was both North and South Carolina.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Then
South
Right.
Carolina was the first state to secede and start the.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
Sorry.
if you got South in your name, you can't really have people go and fight for the North. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could see how that would make sense back then.
I was my
Not
question,
that it's right, but
it's a question for Brian really. How the fuck would they have got that? Because to me, that I know my geography is better than most for America, but that is kind of in the South to me. That is like sort of
what is?
down like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia.
Yeah.
It's like just above Florida to me, like Georgia. It's just above Florida, like in my mind. how the fuck would they have got there safely? Like these, like because I thought they would have been going through enemy territory.
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
I'm confused.
So I thought that area would have been.
What area are we talking about? North or South Carolina?
Are you talking about like the logistics of like how they got there?
No, just the fact that it would have been the army presence of the Confederacy would have been there.
I mean, you sneak around, dude. I mean, the Americans had the Underground Railroad. I mean, there's ways of sneaking around.
That was going up north, though.
Well,
Yeah.
this is, I mean, it's actually, from a military history standpoint, this film is actually pretty interesting because I think it's one of the only ones that highlights the coastal warfare of the American Civil War. All from Virginia all the way down to Florida, and then even in the just as much in the what is now the Gulf of America, but the Gulf of Mexico. They had a massive blockade, keeping any. I mean, the South didn't have a lot of ships to begin with, but keeping any supplies from going in or out. There were some blockade runner ships that got past every now and then, but for the most part, the blockade was one of the most effective in bringing down the South. And in the process of that, there's a lot of southern ports along these coastal areas. This is like over 1,000 miles of coast to cover with these blockades. But what they're doing in this film, like they would drop not like massive armies or anything, but they would send in divisions, regiments in order to like seize areas around the big port. Like how the Fort Wagner, the last scene is it's a fort that is guarding the harbor of Charleston, South Carolina, which was one of the major port towns of port cities of the South. Still is.
I was going to say it has to be a port though, doesn't it? Because you can't just.
Like the big ones were like Charleston, I think Norfolk, Virginia, and then Savannah, Georgia. All of these places would get destroyed by the end. But yeah, the blockade was a big thing, and they would land troops to make it basically like established like a 5 to 10 mile area where they held to run operations along the coast. It's not like major armies moving in or anything. The major armies were in northern Virginia and like in near the Mississippi, like Tennessee and those areas. Those were where you had some major big armies clashing and stuff. Like the opening scene is a depiction of the Battle of Antietam, which is the Army of Northern Virginia against the Army of the Potomac, which were the two major armies in the East that were clashing. The South won a lot of victories during those days. I've actually been to Antietam. It's a beautiful place. It actually reminds, if an Englishman was there, it'd probably remind him of maybe the Cotswolds a little bit. It's just very green, rolling hills, and it's very similar to Gettysburg. Yeah, it's very similar to Gettysburg and Antietam are like two of the most beautiful places you could have a battle, actually. And that actually reminds me, the opening scene that depicts the Battle of Antietam, that's actually reenactors doing that scene at Gettysburg.
That's so fucking sick.
Yeah. I have seen plenty of videos of Gettysburg and people, historians walking around the fields and saying this is what. And
I can't imagine that would have been easy for them to film on set there.
Yeah,
in the sense of like the historical,
like not messing things up.
Yeah, like not fucking shit up.
They figure it out because at Gettysburg they do it every single year.
Yeah, it makes sense.
They figure out
how
to not mess.
They don't let people walk through with metal detectors and shit, right? Because I remember like we were in Savannah one time, or not Savannah. It was somewhere growing up, and like we stopped at this place where a big battle had taken place. I remember seeing a big ass sign that said "No metal detectors."
I'm not too sure about that. That's a good question. You got me stumped. Thank you. I don't know. I haven't been to one of these battlefields in a long time. I used to live near a lot of them, but I'm sure there's some kind of rule like that. It sounds like it would make sense.
I bet your metal detector would go off the radar if you just started walking around with it. If you had
No metal
if you had a
detecting. No, metal detecting is generally prohibited on federally managed Civil War battlefields. Federal law protects archaeological and historical sites and artifacts on public lands, including national battlefields. Violators of these regulations will face legal consequences.
There you go.
Every time.
is someone bad at cooking?
So, speaking of metal detectors,
He said, speaking of metal detectors.
What were you gonna eat for dinner tonight?
Oh, great! There's a big spider.
let me see. What else do we have here
Yeah,
that I
go
could
on.
write down?
I'm loving this, man. You actually teaching me a lot. I am soaking this in.
I used to like go through this particular type of history like nonstop because it's so interesting. It's even as a Jesus Christ. All right, let me turn his mic off.
Oh my God! There's a giant.
Yeah, go on. There you
There
go.
we go. Okay. I didn't realize it would be that loud stepping away from his microphone. I just totally lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Metal detectors, I think.
No. I was talking about the history. There he is.
There you
Sorry.
Okay.
You were louder than us.
That wasn't
Yeah,
me.
I don't
That
know.
wasn't me. That was not me screaming.
I know.
Oh, we know. It was just like
Yes,
for some reason your microphone just.
I thought that I had muted it before I walked away, so that's my bad.
Okay. Yeah, I went through this history because it's even as an American, this history with the Civil War is just so. I mean, it's like it's the pinnacle moment in our history in a lot of ways. It's basically, and this Civil War is very unique in this sense too. It was basically like we decided to have a family argument, but we decided mostly it was going to stay among the soldiers. There's not. This is rare in a civil war in the sense that there's not a lot of civilian casualties in this war. There's like hardly any, unless you like look at some incidents that happen in places.
What is it, like 600,000 or something died? People, just in general?
Over 600,000 soldiers were killed in the Civil War. Yeah,
Not many civilians, though.
not many civilians, but the rare places where that stuff like that did happen were in places like Missouri and Kansas and
Gotcha.
West
I
Virginia.
wonder who they were.
What do you mean?
In the South, who's going to be the cannon fodder?
Kansas isn't really the South, is it?
Is it?
Kansas was a
like middle of the
free
country.
state.
Is that Midwest?
Kansas was a
Yeah.
experiment because when they formed the state of Kansas, they actually let the people who were in Kansas decide for themselves whether they wanted slavery or not, and it basically erupted into like a fucking
Its own civil war.
state civil war, yeah, in like the
Right.
1850s, and it was awful. So, but yeah, it's a very it's probably the biggest moment in American history. It's you know, it corrected a big mistake, and it also didn't at the same time in our history. But it's just the I mean, I also grew up living around, like, you know, I could walk to a couple mini battlefields if I wanted to.
That's
from where
so
I grew
fucking
up.
sick.
And I could probably like take a metal detector and just go along a road that maybe like some troops traveled on at one point and find some things.
Probably could.
You know,
I wouldn't believe that, man. Fucking hell. Like, that happens in England all the time. Like, Toby Jones and Gareth from the British Office. He's the guy with the fake eye on Pirates of the Caribbean. Mackenzie something. But yeah, they did a TV show. It was a comedy TV show about guys just going around Britain just metal detecting, but they're like digging up Roman stuff. I've only
That's
seen
so
bits of it.
sick.
But you can do that. Like it's just it's crazy that you can do that in like both of our countries. You've got like your history. Ours is like
Nothing like that though. That's like you can find Roman things that are 2,500 years old. Like
Literally.
that's insane.
But it's still important. It's still important historical stuff. Oh, Christ.
Actually, one thing about Florida that's really cool, especially where we live, Quinn, you can take a metal detector and go along the beach and stuff, and you might find stuff
pirate
from,
treasure.
like, you might find pirate treasure or stuff that's like people have done it.
Oh yeah. There's that. I mean, and then you go up to fucking St. Augustine, bro. You could find some pretty old shit there too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One little pirate fact I know. So this is actually, for us, this is actually quite factual. Like for a change, it's not just arguing about stupid shit. And it's us getting into like the nitty gritty of actual, history and appreciating it. Do you know whether? So, have you guys heard of the term 2 bits? Because I've heard of it. So it's an American term.
2 beers or 2 birds?
2 bits. Meaning,
2 bits.
Meaning, is that a quarter?
3 little birds sat on my window. I know 3 little birds.
No. 2 bits means a quarter.
So, what?
Makes sense.
2 bits?
I think I have heard this before.
How is that's an American term though?
Yeah. It's in Groundhog Day. That's the first time I heard it.
Oh, it's a term originated from the Spanish dollar, which was often cut into 8 pieces, each called a bit. 2 of these bits equaled a quarter of $1.
Yeah.
So yeah, now they're probably worth fucking crazy money.
But yeah, that's where the term. So on Groundhog Day, so that's a 1993 film. They're basically Bill Murray. They're doing a sort of like bid on the guy to have a date with him, and they get the camera guy for like 25 cents, and she's got 2 bits, like this really old woman. And so I found out that is actually a pirate term from the old, like back when it was pirating was quite the thing in the southeast of America. So
It's pretty cool.
there you go. So if you ever hear someone say 2 bits, 25 cents, that's where it comes from. It's the dollar would get broke because it was the weight in silver that mattered. It wasn't because we didn't have banknotes then, obviously. So they just cut the dollar up into 8 pieces of 8. That's where that comes from. So 2 of those.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too.
So 2 bits would be a quarter.
Well,
there you go. Got this.
Any more scenes you want to touch on with the film, Brian?
Let's see. I got the actually one of my favorite callbacks. It's one of those callback moments. Remember the racist guy on the road when
which
what
one?
Does he say?
Oh, yeah.
Trip has like a confrontation with him, and he says some.
Denzel's a fucking shit starter, bro.
Yeah,
Denzel in this movie is just.
If you notice though, the when Morgan Freeman jumps in, and then the guy starts yelling at him, when Carrie Elways comes in and he's like, "Who are you? I'm going to bring charges on you." And Morgan Freeman actually says, "No, it's just a little soldier rifle, so don't worry about it."
Fight,
yeah. So they kind of get them off the hook in a way, even though he said some real fucked up shit. But the part that I love is that when they're going to, they start forming up to assault Fort Wagner. That same guy is watching them because he knows they're going to lead the attack. Mm-hmm. And all of whatever his feelings are about these people is out the window. He's just
100%.
He yells, "Give him hell, 54th," and everybody starts cheering.
Thank you. Right. I couldn't make out what he was saying because I knew it was good because everyone all the white guys start taking their hats off and giving it socks, and I was like, right, I know he just I know there's a character turn, turn, or a
but
turn there.
even if it's not, I wouldn't really say it's a complete face turn. Like, but I just love the fact that, like, even though he probably still feels the way he does, he's acknowledging that a lot of these people they're leading the charge in this thing, and a lot of these people aren't coming back.
Yeah.
And he's saying, like, do your best, and we're behind you.
Give them hell.
When
I'm so glad
there's a lot of stories like that during that war in particular with the black troops, where, especially in letters, where white soldiers would start having their opinions changed by watching them die. It was a very fucking sad thing.
Because when you're, I'm never in the military, but I feel like when you're on a fucking battlefield, the people who are fighting with you, those are your brothers. That's where that whole shit in the military, the hoorah, that brother, like, that's your brother. That's where that shit comes from, man. Because at the end of the day, no one back home is going to know through the hell that you went through, besides the guys that were right there standing in that fucking literal hell with you the entire time.
That is not just an American thing. That I hear.
Oh yeah, anyone,
all the time here.
Yeah.
I want to, and Morgan Freeman when he slaps Denzel's.
Yeah.
No. He did. No,
gives him a little smack.
He didn't He-Man based slap him. He gives him a woman slap. He's a psh. And he says all these thousands of these white men are dying to make you free. Like that's
really, because I thought he said, "I'm from Scotland."
I'm from Scotland.
I am Morgan Freeman from Scotland.
Oh my!
Andy Dufresne travel through 500 yards of shite.
Shite.
No.
Travel through 500 yards of shite just to give you a little slap.
He came out clean.
That fucking
Remind you
interview.
who's winning this war.
Oh my god!
He came out clean, and then he found his wife who was cheating on him and gave her a slap.
A little smack.
No, but you're right though. That is between Morgan Freeman and Denzel. That's a fantastic scene,
So fucking.
and it
good. That
really
is-
dresses down Denzel's character and really humbles the guy.
and he's got nothing to say to it as well. So Morgan Freeman dresses him down and just addresses how angry he is at the world, obviously, and you see from earlier in the scene his backlashes, and he dresses him down and says you don't need to be, essentially saying you don't need to be angry with the world at us, like at them anymore. You need to be with us. This is why we're all here. And it's just such a dramatic, emotional,
Super powerful scene.
turning point for Denzel, and you see that follow through to the end, and Denzel just barely says anything, and you just see it in his face, all in his face.
And talk about character development in this film. I know I kind of touched on it pretty heavy in the initial review, but you guys felt like that, right? With the characters, it kind of seemed like everyone had their time to shine at one point or another. Like it's so beyond impressive to me that the director was able to pull that off on screen.
Yeah, for me, the biggest one was Morgan Freeman's, where Carrie Elways makes him a sergeant major, so that he explains why he can't give him like an official status, but sergeant major for some reason is an official status.
It's because he wasn't paid, I think, right? Was that the reason why he was able to give him a title? Or he said something about federal.
He's not a that's a rank, that's like the highest rank for a enlisted man. So the difference between an enlisted man and an officer starts at like lieutenant and goes all the way up to like in those days.
So people with the rich
Major
mommy
general.
and daddies type deal, who just don't have to see combat.
No. The officers went to West Point or some type of officer training. In those days, it was probably all West Point.
you.
But they're trained to be officers to lead troops.
I see.
Whether it's a lieutenant leading, like 10 to 50 troops, or it's a colonel leading 1,000 in a regiment. It's
Gotcha.
you go to officer school and you start off as a lieutenant, and you work your way up. Enlisted men start off as privates, and usually but that is a thing too though. Like usually the enlisted men are poorer, and but those are the enlisted men are the
working class.
Enlisted men are the grunts.
Gotcha.
They're the ones that that do the most fighting.
Yeah.
And they take all the orders, but there are some ranks that you can climb up, like corporal, like is the one after private, and then sergeant, and then there's sergeant major, which is
what he gave Mel Gibson.
You mean Morgan Freeman?
Oh God, Morgan Freeman.
Mel Gibson would have loved that.
If that was genuinely a mistake, that is.
It was, yes,
wonderful.
yes.
That's funny.
Wonderful.
That's a good one.
Oh, syphilis feet, just to get the syphilis out of the way. The feet, syphilis.
Okay. Syphilis feet.
Yes, that is it. Yeah.
Those feet.
Try to keep up with the continuity. We're riddled with syphilis.
I have a funny bit here that actually I this has happened like 3 reviews in a row. I've noticed something that I didn't notice before, and it actually cracks me up. So last time it was Saruman taking cocaine. You know what it is this time around? So they have the Battle of James Island, which is a pretty rough scene. But then immediately after the battle, you'll notice that Matthew Broderick's character, Robert Gould Shaw, he's on his horse, and they're coming in from the battle. There's wounded men and stuff. And that reporter guy from Harper's Ferry, which was one of the biggest newspapers back in those days, but he comes in wanting details of their skirmish so that he can put the report in the newspaper.
Yeah, why does he go away?
You don't get shot.
Yeah, he's not. He's just there.
Okay.
But that was. He's basically there as a character to convey that, like, this is how the news got out. Like, reporters would, talk to the people. Anyway, so if you notice that scene when he comes up and he starts asking questions and he's got his pen and paper out, there's a band playing instruments in the back. You got one guy with like a accordion type thing or whatever it is.
Not a harpsichord. Yeah, accordion.
Yeah, a guy with a guitar. There's one guy, he's flicking like a wooden contraption thing, and this guy always bugged me for some reason. But he's like, and it's like, what is he doing? Is he like? It looks like he's like shaking a telephone near his head. But I still to this day I do not know what that wooden contraption is. But apparently it makes some kind of clicking noise.
Yeah. Okay. What that is, I don't know what it's called. It's basically a sort of capital letter C, but the bottom's elongated. It's got a metal pole on it, and at the top it's got a wooden ball. So when you shake it, the metal bends and the ball bangs against the top edge of the C. It goes.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called.
I didn't see anything metal in that thing, but I believe you.
Yeah, I've seen them. They're usually a bit more sophisticated than that, but yeah.
Maybe it's a more primitive version of it. I don't know. It sounded like it was making like a wood clicking noise or something like that.
Yeah. So because it's wood hitting on wood, so it's a wooden ball on top of hitting the wooden stump.
Yeah,
that's what it's doing.
So yeah, that guy always looked funny doing that. But the thing I noticed this time around, there is a guy. He's banging a drum with his hand, but it also looks like he's fucking the drum.
Shot.
He's thrusting away at the drum. So technically,
when you see these, you gotta give me the time frames like of the movie. So I've been trying to find it. It's before the beach battle? Yeah, because he's still alive. Robert's still alive.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. I'm here.
Yeah, and he's thrusting away at the drum. So technically, he's banging the drum. From two different ways at the same time.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he's definitely teaching that.
No, the best part is because if you pause the frame, there's a guy that's playing on a flute right there. So all you see is the guy sitting down playing the flute like this, and then the other guy's just thrusting right in front of him.
The drum is like right in front of him, and he's like,
yeah, exactly. It just looks like he's fucking slobbing off Flute Man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I saw that and I started laughing.
It's actually great. I'm surprised my filthy brain did not catch that.
Because this is one of those films where there's not a lot to laugh at. So
no, definitely not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right. One thing I want to bring up. When I'm on the beach and the command, I don't know what to call it. Brian, you'll have to correct me. The commander, the guy who's in charge of the attack on Wagner.
I think he was a brigadier general.
Brigadier General, thank you. Then Matthew Broderick just volunteers themselves, but Carrie Elways is there, and it looks hot as hell.
Yes, I have this written down too.
I was waiting for Carrie Elways to go. The fuck are you doing? He's just like,
dude. He asked to lead the assault, and you see Forbes behind him, and he's like, God fucking damn it!
Just like, what did you motherfucker? What the hell?
Like, this bastard volunteered us. We're all gonna get killed.
To a suicide mission.
Right after, by the way, he volunteers right after the general says, needless to say, casualties in the leading regiment will be in the extreme.
I'll go. Me, pick me to die, please.
Yeah.
Like, you
literally all for glory.
Posh fucking wanker.
Dude.
Fucking thinking like they're going to Valhalla, bro.
Well, they did. That's a great scene as well. To circle that into something, when I actually genuinely thought, you know what, I would love to go to a gospel church right now. When they've all sat around the campfire and they're all having their speech and they've all done their.
I've been to.
It's amazing.
Several of them.
It is amazing.
It's religion has never been so fun.
What did you say?
I said religion has never been so fun. If you go to a black church,
I thought you said something. Oh my god!
Don't even fucking say what. I don't even know what you're thinking, but let's.
Yeah, I don't know either.
No.
Let's not. No, it's because I'm an atheist, but if you asked me to go to church,
I would go.
I would politely say no. But if you asked me to go to a black church, I would be like, "What time? What time? Let's do it." I'll fucking be there. It's.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
No.
No. I honest to God, I was like, I would absolutely fucking love to just go sit in the back, just be respectful and just.
Oh no, bro! They want
Oh, you ain't no. If you go to one, they ain't letting you sit down. You're joining in.
You're getting up, and by the end of that, you will have the Holy Spirit in you, and you won't even know what happened, brother.
Hey! I've heard about those priests. I'm not into that.
That was funny, but I'm not gonna laugh.
You can't.
It's. I don't think.
No.
It's more the Catholic Church, though.
Yeah,
different. We got a lot of branches of Jesus out here. Yeah.
No, honestly, I thought, do you know what? I would actually this. That was so enjoyable to watch, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought, absolutely.
Oh no, it's up. It does something to you, hearing that music. Man. Yeah,
soul, baby. That's why they say it, man.
It was soul music, original soul music. Yeah.
And the crazy thing, when you're listening to that, nowadays they have instruments and stuff to make it even more epic. It basically now it would sound like something out of the Hercules animated movie or something.
Oh, dude, that's a
bless my soul. Was on a roll.
But the way this scene is done is basically the same way that the same kind of thing you would hear in those days, which makes it
that's what
amazing.
Makes it great. The fact that is carried on, and the fact that obviously there were so many people who had done their homework on this. They were doing that now, and that sounds exactly what I think a gospel church sounds like.
Yeah,
there's just one song, bro. When I was kind of new to my faith, it's funny because I didn't really fuck with you walk into Christ Fellowship or one of those churches. I didn't like their music, but when I started researching gospel on my own, the black gospel, bro, is what I have a playlist on my phone. It's not the traditional no, I guess it is traditional. It's the fucking it's just. It's OG shit, man. I'm not huge on today's gospel, but you give me some fucking soulful gospel, dude. I'll be in my car crying my eyes out, fucking blasting it, bro.
Yeah, well, that's the whole Aretha Franklin stuff. She was a church gospel singer.
Whitney Houston. Oh my god.
Any of those.
It could be put in one word, bro. Soul.
Soul.
They got that shit.
They have, and it shows on this film.
Ray
And it's
Charles turned
wonderful.
gospel into rock and roll.
Yeah,
He kind of mixed the two, and most of his stuff is in that style.
God,
yeah,
this
it was brilliant. I think we're kind of exhausted, except for the 4th of July battle, where you've got all the fireworks going off at the end. But then you got Morgan Freeman and like launching after Matthew Broderick's character dies. Morgan Freeman like launching the attack. It's just like this black pride, and it's just like really fucking powerful. These guys are just ready to do this.
Did you guys think that there was something symbolic with how Denzel's body? Do you remember the one scene earlier on in the movie where Denzel didn't want to sleep close to fucking what's his name, Snowflake or whatever? And then at the end of the movie, he's obviously he's a different man. He's a changed man. And then the way his body falls on Roberts, I couldn't exactly figure out if it was symbolic, but I was like, maybe there's something there. Maybe it's a testament to how far his character has come. Granted, he's dead, but like,
it happens twice, dude. So it happens when he's shot, he falls on him when they're on the sand dune. But when Shaw gets thrown into the mass grave, and then when he's thrown in again, he falls and lands on him. So there's no way that wasn't.
Shouldn't all these bodies be like really stiff? Because like the night has passed. Shouldn't like rigor mortis have set in by now, or no?
I'm not making a comment on that.
I don't know about that. I can tell you though that that scene at the end where you see that the Confederates have retained the fort and they have won, and most of the regiment got blown away, and you see them lift up Shaw and throw him into the mass grave that they're making there. The Confederate troops actually meant that as an insult. Because they don't see them as equals, and they were like, well, he's leading black troops, let's just throw him in with them. And
he's one of them.
They intentionally meant that as an insult, and that actually did happen. But the part of the story that I really like about that is that when Robert's father was told of how he was buried, just thrown in the burial pit with his soldiers, he's reported to have said he's proud to have him buried that way, and he couldn't think of
his father.
He couldn't think of a better guard to send him into heaven. So. That's
so sweet.
But yeah, they were an abolitionist family, so they were very much in support of this thing. But yeah, that burial thing that actually happened, and the Confederates did not mean it to be an honorable thing. They were kind of shitting on him on the way out.
Tough shit on them.
Right.
Because this was a
that battle.
Movie.
That battle was suicide. I think they were the only regiment that actually breached the walls of the fort, like they did it in the scene. But half of the troops that went in there did not come out.
No fuck.
It said that at the end, with the other half put into servitude, because that's what.
Yeah, did it say at the end there? Did it say with the other half?
Oh, no. Any troops that breached the gate or tried to surrender, they were killed.
Oh, no, if they were wearing a uniform. That's what it said. They said if they were wearing a uniform.
There's instances of that happening, too. There's one particular battle. It was... is this Petersburg, I believe? Yes, and they lit like a massive underground dynamite thing that like ripped a hole in the earth. That crater's still there, by the way. But one of the mistakes that the Union troops did anyway was they marched all their troops into the hole instead of going around it. And as a consequence, it was a really but that's not the part I'm trying to highlight here. But like basically they were in this crater, and the Confederate troops just surrounded the crater and started shooting at them.
Shooting down at them.
And there was I think there was reports of the Confederate troops, they were pulling the white troops that were surrendering out of it while killing the black troops that were still in there.
Oh my god.
So yeah, there's instances of that.
Fucked.
But yeah, there's a whole lot you can learn about this.
Honestly, I wouldn't
instance
even
of
mind.
American history.
You know what I
It's-
might do? I might actually just watch the fucking Civil War documentary. That show that you were talking about. I think that would fucking be a really good
That's the
watch.
thing that launched me into getting into documentaries for sure.
Heard that.
It's. I'm not sure. I'd be curious to see what you make of it. It's an investment in
It's
time.
going to be a hard
for sure.
watch. I think it's going to be a hard watch.
Well, it's not.
Not
there's
in the way that it's not entertaining or anything like that, but I think it's going to be a very difficult watch just from an emotional standpoint. Yeah. Movies.
It's all narration and still photos of that era.
Yeah.
There's not any
I'm okay with
reenactments
that.
or anything.
No,
It's-
that's I don't expect
and
it to be.
paintings too as well.
Yeah.
But
History was my
literally
favorite
awesome.
subject in school. It's the only subject that I actually enjoyed going to. I didn't care about science, fuck math, fuck reading, fuck literature. I literally was like, history was the one thing, and I retained none of that information as an adult. But it's like, I remember it being the only class I enjoyed going to.
One last thing I wanted to throw in here. The end credits part, that kind of like bronze thing depicting the troops and Colonel Shaw, that is the actual 54th Massachusetts monument that believe it's in downtown Boston. So
That'd be cool to see.
That is.
Was that already
actual
there
monument.
before the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
It would have been. One thing to end it on a light note. One thing that I immediately thought of when Shaw volunteers themselves. So obviously they're saying it's going to be extreme casualties. I'm assuming you've both seen the South Park film, Big
Yeah.
Up, Long and Cut,
Yeah.
where they have Operation Human Shield. Do you know where I'm going? You both know. Well, Brian knows where I'm going with this. And I just couldn't help but think of that. And then, have you heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? I don't listen to hip hop.
I don't
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to hip hop.
I actually
It's been a
forgot about
while
that
since
line.
they've seen. There's a South Park movie. That's the one with Satan and Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So it's basically
Shut
they
your
go to war
fucking
with-
face, Uncle. Yeah.
They go to a war with Canada, but their first the first regiment that goes in the operation of Human Shield, it's basically all African Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Fucked
just go,
up.
what the fuck?
You think about it like that.
Very fucked up.
Right. So we have done something very different on this one. This has been we've had a laugh, but it's been actually a bit of a learning for all of us.
The next movie, I'm not going with war, but I am sticking.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Next week we are doing
Oh, fuck.
Ninja Turtles.
Fuck.
Because
Okay.
we're going to see it.
Yeah,
so-
Saturday. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to go ahead? Do you want to say it though? Like
Yeah,
what your
I
pick
do.
was? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that we were confirmed with.
are you going
Turtles.
this Saturday? Like in
Yeah.
2 days?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, wait, we're going this Saturday?
Yeah, you said you showed me the ticket yesterday.
Oh, fuck me sideways. Babe, we got to cancel with Liz.
Hell no.
Oh no.
We'll talk after this.
Not for a movie.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Damn.
His camera's going to go off in a second as well.
Not for
All right, all good.
a rerun.
Because I was going to say, let's do it on a Wednesday, because it's my birthday. I'm not going to
All right.
do the review then.
Well, the movie after whatever ends up, yeah. So after that, it'll be Sinners with Michael B. Jordan, director Ryan
the new one,
Coogler.
Okay.
This is something that I had wanted to do for a while. It's been on my list, and I was like, okay. And then as I was watching this, I was like, all right, it feels like Black History Month. We're gonna go into kind of keeping it with
6 months too late.
Yeah, right. But no, yeah. So that's going to be my pick. I'm excited for that, Brian. Vampires, you got to throw them. I got to throw Brian back to the vampires at least once every few months. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Van Helsing,
Used to be
Nosferatu.
every 3 weeks.
I know. Just be happy. I'm giving you a break. All right.
I'm just, like fucking. If you're gonna get me with vampires, at least throw Kate Beckinsale's fine ass in there or something.
Yeah.
Because
Honestly.
I'd definitely be down to watch some
Got
Underworld.
the clown with that one.
Anyway,
But yeah, so Teeny, yeah.
We'll figure it out between
we'll
us.
figure it out.
No, I mean yeah.
All right. Well, you guys want to wrap this up then? We hit the 2
Let's
hour
do it.
mark like almost perfectly. So.
Yeah,
do it,
yeah.
man.
2 minutes over, but yeah.
All
let's
right.
do
Well,
it.
we'll
So,
see. It's either going to be Sinners or Ninja Turtles,
It's
depending
gonna
on
be
what
one of the-
happens here.
It's gonna be vampires or mutants and reptiles.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are out of here. That was our Glory review. Hopefully, you guys check it out because it is worth a
Worth
watch.
watching. It is
Yes.
I think everyone
Absolutely
should
worth watching.
It's reminds you of the harrowing history that humanity has, not just America.
I'm still
Everyone.
blown away that Quentin gave it Meltzer rating.
I loved it.
I thought
loved
he
it.
would,
It
I
was so
thought he
great.
would be like 7 or 8 for him, maybe.
I
That was my
have no
guess.
real issues with this film, bro. I really
Meltzer,
don't.
I was shocked.
When you have a cast like this, it's hard not to. When you have a cast like this and they all perform outstanding, it's hard to even think of the possibility of bringing it to a 7. Like just for the sheer performances alone. The only reason why I gave
This is
Robin
not
Hood,
a
Prince
7.
of Thieves a fucking 7 was because of Alan Rickman. That's it, bro.
All right.
But no, the plot was great. The writing was great. All the characters had great arcs. Yeah, Robin Hood fucking
I was
sucked
so
dog dick,
expecting
bro.
it. I was actually kind of looking forward to it too. I was like, oh, here comes the Kevin Costner rant. Here we go.
No, he's terrible. So bad.
I am
so
going to
bad.
one of the. I still have this in my back pocket, and you're gonna have to watch this one time.
Robin Hood, Men in
And,
Tights or something.
No, it's gonna be
No, this movie right here that I'm playing.
Oh,
some-
right. Okay, sorry.
If I
Sorry,
can get my
I
head
got
on
you.
it.
I got you.
Is that Gone with the Wind?
No, that is Dances with Wolves.
That's what it was.
Oh, that's the
Come
other
with
one
the
that did really well.
Kevin Costner's.
Alrighty, guys.
Like
Well, thank you
200
for
years
joining us on this glorious podcast. Highly recommend, once again, go watch this fucking movie. It's amazing, especially if you're from the UK and maybe you're not super knowledgeable with American history. I'm from here and I am so unknowledgeable. If you want to know a little bit more about American history and you want to watch a good movie while you do it, highly recommend, man. Great fucking film.
As a Brit, I completely condone everything Quentin Tarantino just said. Yes, absolutely. Massive gap in my history knowledge because it's not important to British history, so we're not taught it either. But absolutely worth a watch, even if it's a bit fictionalized. It's based on fact. So
It's one of the better, like based on a true story
Yes.
movie.
Some of the
war
facts that you
movies
guys-
out there.
Some of the facts that you guys were telling me about this, I just thought it was made up for Hollywood because it seemed implausible. And then you're like, yeah, no, this really happened. I'm like, what? Like, I'm genuinely shocked. So yeah, fuck, they did great, man. I think there's a key difference between people like Ridley Scott, who obviously he takes a big leap and does like to create his own stories with certain characters. This film has a nice mixture of both, but for the most part, at least from my understanding, majority was truthful in terms of, at least the main character. So that's pretty amazing. Not a lot of films can do that and make it a good movie.
it's building a story around the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, guys.
Okay,
Brian,
Let's get
send
out of
us
here.
off.
All right, let's get out of here. Happy you guys joined us. If you made us this far, next week it will be
Hi,
either
Joe.
Ninja Turtles or what was the other? Sinners.
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 I'll
We'll see.
figure-
So
Yeah.
this will be a
You'll
surprise.
know when you see the thumbnail. We don't know. So on that note, we're gonna get out of here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later,
Peace out.
guys.